The pen was in my hand. The nota re was waiting. Derek sat on my right. Lisa on my left. Both smiling. Big, wide, reassuring smiles. Just sign here, Dad, Derek said. Soft, gentle, like talking to a child. Then we can take CA re of everything. I looked at the deed transfer. My house. The house I built with my hands. The house where Marga Rhett took her last breath 3 years ago. That I was giving it away. Because they said I was getting old. They said they'd take CA re of me. I was 72. My knees hurt. My hands shook. I believed them. I lifted the pen. Tip touched paper. Then I stopped. A clicking noise from the hallway. Faint. Insistent. Like a machine sta rooting. I put the pen down. What's that? Derek frowned. What's what, Dad? That noise. I pointed. Sounds like a camera. Lisa laughed. Hi and tinny. There's no camera, Dad. Tinnitus. Remember what Dr. Patterson said? I shook my head. I knew tinnitus. This was mechanical. Rhythmic. I stood. My knees popped. I walked to the hallway. The notary shifted in his chair. Derek and Lisa looked at each other. Impatience in their eyes. A flicker of something to RK. The hallway closet was open a crack. I pulled the door wide. There it sat. An old camcorder. Marga Rhett's. The one she loved. The one we buried with her things in the attic. But it wasn't in the attic. It was on the closet floor. The red recording light was blinking. It was filming me. I reached down. My hands shook. I picked it up. The screen was to RK. But the light blinked. It had been running the whole time. Dad, Derek behind me. Sharper now. What are you doing? Your mother's camera. My voice cracked. It's recording. Lisa stepped 4-way road. Her face went pale. That's impossible. We threw that away years ago. I sta read at her. You threw it away. She bit her lip. It was broken. Remember after Mom. She didn't finish. I pressed playback. The screen flickered. Then I saw her, Marga Rhett. She sat on the edge of our bed. The same bed I still slept in. Blue CA Redigan. The one with the loose button. Gray hair. Thin face. Cancer had taken most of her. But she smiled. That sad, tired smile from the hospital. I had never seen this tape. Frank, she said on screen. Her voice was weak. A whisper. If you're watching this, I'm already gone. My chest tightened. Air left my lungs. I leaned against the wall. Derek grabbed my arm. Dad, turn it off. This isn't healthy. I pulled away. Let me watch. Dad, please. Lisa's voice shook. Dad, come sit down. This is old. You don't need to watch. I looked at her. Sweat on her forehead. Eyes derooting. She was SCA red. I didn't know why. Not yet. I turned back. Frank, Marga Rhett continued. I have to tell you something. Something I should have told you long ago. I was afraid. I was a cow. Road. Derek reached for the camera. I grabbed his wrist. Road, sit down. I said. Steel in my voice. I'd never spoken to him like that. Ever. He sat. Lisa sat. The notary sat frozen, watching. Frank, Marga Rhett said. Her eyes were wet. The children, Derek and Lisa, they're not yours. The words didn't register. They bounced off my brain like rubber balls. I heard them. I didn't understand. I met someone, she said. Before we married. A man named Robert. I thought I loved him. But he left. When I was pregnant. I was alone. Then you came along. So kind. So good. You wanted to marry me. You wanted to take CA re of me. I let you. I let you believe the children were yours. Ringing in my ears. High and piercing. My heart pounded. My hands went cold. I'm sorry, she said. So sorry. I wanted to tell you so many times. But I couldn't. I was a cow. Road. And then I got sick. I thought maybe it was better if you never knew. But I can't die with this lie. She paused. Wiped her eyes. Robert is alive. He came back a few years ago. He found the children. He told them the truth. They know, Frank. They know who their real father is. The floor tilted. I grabbed the doorframe. Please forgive me. I don't deserve it. But I love you. I always loved you. You were a good husband. A good father. Even if they aren't yours biologically. You raised them. You love them. That matters. The screen went black. The tape ended. I stood there. Camera heavy in my hands. My whole body heavy. Like stone. Dad, Derek's voice CA refill. Measured. Mom was sick. She didn't know what she was saying. I turned to him. You knew. His face paled. What? You knew. My voice was flat. Dead. She said Robert told you. Years ago. You knew. Derek opened his mouth. Nothing came out. I looked at Lisa. She wouldn't meet my eyes. STA ring at the floor. You both knew. All this time. You knew I wasn't your father. You let me believe. You let me raise you. You let me love you. Work myself to the bone. And you knew. Dad, it doesn't change anything. Lisa's voice desperate. You're still our dad. You raised us. We love you. Do you? I asked. She didn't answer. Robert. I said the name like poison. Your real father. What did he want? Why did he come back? Derek looked at Lisa. Lisa looked at Derek. A silent conversation. The kind they'd been having my whole life. The kind I was never part of. He wanted to meet us. Derek's voice was tight. That's all. Just meet you. And then what? Nothing. Nothing happened. You're lying. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't have to. The words hung like smoke. I walked back to the living room. The paper's still on the table. The deed transfer. My signature waiting. I picked up the pen. Derek smiled. Small. Hopeful. See, Dad, you're going to sign. Everything will be fine. I looked at him. The face I'd watched grow from baby to man. The face I'd shaved for the first time. The face I'd seen cry at his mother's funeral. And I saw a stranger. I turned to the notary. I'm not signing anything. The notary blinked. Excuse me, the transfer is off. The deed stays in my name. I'm keeping the house. Derek stood. His chair scraped the floor. What, Dad? You can't. I can. It's my house. I built it. I paid for it. I'm keeping it. You're 72. You can't take care of this place alone. You need us. That's why we were doing this. To help you. Help me, I laughed. Bitter. Broken. You were helping yourselves. That's all you've ever done. Taken my money. My time. My love. You took everything. And you knew. All along. You knew. Lisa sta root crying. Loud, ugly sobs. That's not true. We love you. You're our father. I'm not your father. The words cut like glass. I'm the man you used. The man you were waiting to die so you could take his house. Derek's face went red. Fists clenched. That's not fair. We never said that. You didn't have to. I saw it in your eyes. When I picked up the pen. That look. The look of someone about to get what they've been waiting for. I picked up the papers. Tore them in half. Then qua routers. Let the pieces fall. Get out. Dad, get out of my house. Both of you. Now. Derek stepped 4-way road taller. Bigger. He could have taken me. Easily. For a moment, I thought he would, but he didn't. He looked at the torn paper. Then Lisa. Then me. In his eyes, I saw hatred. This isn't over. You can't just throw us away. We're your children. In the eyes of the law, we have rights. You have nothing. Not anymore. He grabbed Lisa's arm. They walked to the door. He stopped. Turned back. You'll regret this. When you're old and alone. When no one visits. When you die in this house and no one finds you for weeks. You'll regret this. Get out. They left. The door slammed. I sat in my chair. Camera still in my hands. Marga Rhett's face frozen on the screen. Sad, tired smile. I pressed play again. Frank, I have to tell you something. I watched the whole thing again. Every word. Every TR. Every apology. When it ended, I turned off the camera. Set it on the table. I looked around the room. The room I built. Where my children took first steps. Where Marga Rhett knitted and read and smiled at me across dinner. Empty now. Hollow. Like a tomb. I didn't cry. I couldn't. TRS wouldn't come. I just sat. STA ring at the wall. STA ring at the torn deed on the floor. And I STA root to think. Robert. The man who was their real father. The man who came back. The RS I worked. Overtime. Second jobs. Sacrifices. For children who weren't mine. Children who knew the truth. Children who lied to me my whole life. Derek said I'd regret. Die alone. He was wrong. I wasn't going to die alone. I was going to make them regret. I stood. My knees screamed. My back ached. I walked to my office. Opened the drawer. Old files. I pulled out bank statements. Deeds. Insurance policies. Wills. And ISTA route to plan. First thing I did. Change the locks. I didn't want them coming back while I was out. I didn't want them taking anything else. I drove to the RDWA restore. The kid behind the counter looked at me. I must have looked like a ghost. Pale. Shaking. Old, you okay, sir? He asked. Fine. Just need new locks. Deadbolts. Strongest you have. He handed me a box. I paid cash. No paper trail. Not that they'd come looking. But I was Leah Renning. Like a hunted animal. I could smell danger now. I drove home. Installed the locks myself. 3 hours. Hands hurt. Back screamed. But I did it. When I finished, I sat down. Looked at the camera again. Questions. 1,000 questions. Who was Robert? Where was he now? How long had the children known? What else had they hidden? I needed answers. I couldn't ask the children. They'd lie, deflect, manipulate. I had to find out myself. The addict, I hadn't been up there in years. Not since Marga Rhett died. Too painful. Too many memories. I climbed the stairs. Each step a battle. Knees popping. Breath short. The attic door stuck. I pushed. Wouldn't budge. Pushed harder. Shoulders slammed into wood. It gave. I stumbled in. Dust choked my lungs. The attic was a museum of our lives. Boxes labeled Christmas. Baby clothes. Taxes. I looked around. Didn't know where to start. Then I saw it. A CA Boa Road box in the corner. Unlabeled. Sealed with tape. I walked over. Legs heavy. Knelt down. Floorboa RDS creaked. I pulled the tape. Old. Brittle. Snapped. I opened it. Photos. Marga Rhett. Not photos I'd ever seen. She was young. Beautiful. Laughing at the beach. Sun in her hair. With a man. A man I didn't recognize. Tall. Dark hair. Handsome. His arm around her. Holding her close. Robert. I knew it. Felt it in my bones. I flipped through them. Robert and Marga Rhett. Marga Rhett and Robert. Beach. Restaurant. PA Rudy. They were happy. In love. Something I'd never seen with me. Never. I found a letter. Yellowed. Ink faded. Arrest Marga Rhett. I can't stop thinking about you. Every moment. APART feels like a lifetime. I know I'm alright. I know this is wrong. But I've never felt anything like this. You are my soulmate. My other half. I'll leave her. I promise. Just give me time. I read it 3 times. The words burned in. He was my ride. When they met. Marga Rhett was the other woman. Another letter. Shorter. I'm coming back. I need to see you. I need to see the children. They're mine. Marga Rhett. My blood. I have a right to know them. Next week. Don't tell Frank. He doesn't need to know. Not yet. He came back. He met them. He told them the truth. And they kept it from me. I sat in the dust. Photos scattered around. Letter in my hand. I looked at the photo of Marga Rhett and Robert. Laughing together. Happy together. Coldness in my chest. Small at first. A pinprick of ice. Then it spread. Through veins. Through bones. Cold all over. I gave Marga Rhett everything. Loved her. CA read for her. Held her hand when she was dying. Held her as she took her last breath. All along. She was thinking of him. I put the photos back. Put the letter back. Sealed it with new tape. Put it in the corner. I left. I didn't want to be in that house. Not with those memories. Not with those lies. I drove to the library. Used the computer. Searched Robert's name. 20 minutes. I found him. He lived 3 hours away. Owned a landscaping company. Had a wife. 2 children. A house with a white fence. He moved on. STA route Dover. Had a life. I was left behind. Holding the bag. Raising his children. Loving his children. Dying for his children. I printed his address. Put it in my pocket. Then I drove to my lawyer. Mr. Henderson. Known him 30 years. Handled my will. Handled Marga Rhett's estate. Good man. Private man. Kept his mouth shut. I sat in his office. He offered coffee. I didn't take it. I need to change my will. He nodded. Pulled out a folder. What changes? Take my children out. Everything goes to charity. The house. Savings. Life insurance. All of it. He looked at me. Eyebrows up. Frank, you sure that's significant? You might want to. I'm sure. He paused. Could see I was in pain. May I ask why? Does it matter? It might. If there's a dispute. If they contest. I leaned 4-way road. They're not my children, John. Never were. I just found out. They knew. Marga Rhett knew. They all lied to me. Silence. Then he nodded. I'll draft new documents. A few days. Faster. I want them out. I want them to have nothing. He nodded again. I'll see what I can do. I left. Sat in my truck. Engine running. Heat blowing. Still cold. I drove to the RDWA restore again. Bought a small camera. Hidden kind. A recording device. A motion sensor. I went home. Installed the camera in the living room. In the hallway. Kitchen. Put the recorder in my pocket. Motion sensor on the front door. I was going to catch them. Catch them doing something. Something I could use. I didn't know what. But I knew they'd come. They wanted the house. The money. What they thought was theirs. they'd show their true colors. I waited. 3 days passed. Nothing. Did I sta root to think I was wrong? Maybe they really loved me. Maybe I overreacted. Maybe I should call them. Then the motion sensor went off. I was in the kitchen, making coffee. The sensor beeped. I looked at the monitor. The front door opened. Derek walked in. He had a key. I hadn't thought to take it. That he was alone. Looked around. Nervous. Eyes rooting. Dad, he called out. Dad? You here? I didn't answer. I watched. Heart pounding. Hands shaking. He walked to the living room. Looked at the spot where the deed had been. Looked at the floor. Pieces were gone. I'd thrown them away. He pulled out his phone. Typed a message. My phone buzzed. Lisa. Dad, please call us. We're worried. We want to talk. We love you. I looked up. Derek still in the living room. Opening drawers. Looking for something. 10 minutes. He went through my desk. Filing cabinet. Nightstand. He was looking for my will. He didn't find it. It was in my safe. The combination was in a book in the attic. The book Marga read hid. Derek didn't know about the book. Didn't know about the safe. Didn't know a lot of things that he gave up. Walked to the door. Stopped. Looked back. I know you're here, Dad. I know you're watching. I can feel it. You can't hide from us. We'll get what's ours. He left. I sat in the kitchen. Coffee cold. Didn't see a re. I pulled out my phone. Looked at Lisa's text. Long time. Dad, please call us. We're worried. We want to talk. We love you. I typed back. I'm fine. I'll call tomorrow. Dinner. The three of us. My treat. Sent. Then I sta root planning again. I needed to meet Robert. I needed to see his face. I needed to understand what kind of man walks away from his pregnant lover. What kind of man comes back years later to destroy another man's family. I made the drive. 3 hours. I didn't stop. I didn't eat. I just drove. The address led to a house. Nice house. Big lawn. White fence. A dog ran in the road. Golden retriever. Get at my truck. I sat across the street. Watched. The front door opened. A man stepped out. Tall. Gray hair now. But still handsome. Same face from the photos. Robert. He walked to a truck. Landscaping logo on the side. He got in. Drove away. I followed. He went to a job site. A big house. He got out. Sta root talking to a crew. They were planting trees. I parked. Watched. I studied him. The way he moved. The way he laughed. The way he patted his workers on the back. He looked happy. Content. Like he had no ca residential in the world. Like he hadn't destroyed my life. I got out of my truck. Walked Tawa RD him. My heart was pounding. My fists were clenched. He looked up. Saw me coming. He frowned. Didn't recognize me. Can I help you? He asked. I stopped 10 feet away. Looked at him. Studied his face. You're Robert. I said. His frown deepened. Yes. Do I know you? No. But you know my children. He went pale. I saw it. The color draining from his face. He knew. He knew exactly what I was talking about. Frank, he whispered, so she told you about me. He looked around. Nervous. His crew was watching. He motioned to a side gate. Can we talk privately? I followed him through the gate. We were in a backyard road private. No one could hear. What do you want? He asked. His voice shook. Guilty. I want the truth. How long have you known Derek and Lisa? He swallowed. Since they were teenagers. I came back. I wanted to meet them. Marga Red agreed. She let me see them. She made them promise not to tell you. And they kept that promise. They were SCA Red. They didn't want to hurt you. Neither did I. Didn't want to hurt me. I laughed. You took everything from me. I didn't take anything. They stayed with you. They grew up with you. I was just a visitor. Visitor. I stepped closer. You fathered them. You abandoned them. Then you came back and turned them against me. I didn't turn anyone against you. I just told them the truth. Truth. My voice cracked. You call that truth? You call 20 years of lies truth? He didn't answer. He looked at the ground. You owe me. I said. He looked up. Owe you what? I don't know yet. But you will. I turned and walked away. He called my name. I didn't look back. I drove home. 3 hours in silence. Thinking. Planning. When I got back, I found a note taped to my front door. Dad, we need to talk. Face to face. No lawyers. No cameras. Just the three of us. Please. Lisa. I tore the note down. Crumpled it. Threw it in the trash. Then I called Lisa. Dad. She sounded surprised. You called? Yes. Dinner tomorrow. My house. 7 o'clock. Really, we can come? Yes. Just you and Derek. No one else. Okay. We'll be there. I promise. Don't bring anything. I'll see. Okay. I hung up. I walked to the kitchen. Looked at my knives. My good knives. I had a plan. I spent the next morning preparing. Not just the food. Everything. The cameras were already in place. Living room. Kitchen. Hallway. I checked each one twice. The red lights blinked. They were recording. I put the recording device in my pocket. Small. Black. Invisible. It was already running. I wanted every word. I looked at myself in the mirror. 72 years old. Gray hair. Wrinkled skin. Eyes that had seen too much. IBA Rely recognized the man. STA ring back. Then I went to work. I pulled out the good china. Marga Red's favorite. The plates she'd gotten from her grandmother. I hadn't used them since she died. Too painful. Now they felt like a mirror. I set the table. 3 places. Derek on my right. Lisa on my left. Just like before. Just like always. I see Keta roast. Marga Red's recipe. The one she taught me. The one I'd made for every family dinner for 30 years. That I wasn't sure why I was doing it. Maybe to remind them of what they were losing. Maybe to remind myself of what I had lost. The doorbell rang at 7 RP. I opened it. Derek and Lisa stood on my porch. They were dressed nicely. Lisa in a blue dress. Derek in a pressed shirt. They were making an effort. Trying to look like good children. Dad. Lisa smiled. That same tight smile she'd given me at the notary's office. Thank you for having us. Come in. I stepped aside. They walked in. They looked around the house. I saw Derek's eyes sweep the living room. Looking for cameras. Looking for evidence. He was smart. I taught him too well. Dinner smells good, Derek said. You didn't have to do all this. I wanted to. I led them to the table. Sit. They sat. I served the food. Roast beef. Mashed potatoes. Green beans. Marga Red's recipe. I watched them take the first bite. They ate. They said it was good. We ate in silence for a few minutes. The only sounds were forks on plates. I let them wait. Let them worry. Dad. Lisa finally said. We need to talk about what happened. I put down my fork. I was hoping you'd start. We're sorry. Her voice was soft. Practiced. I know you're angry. You have every right to be. But we love you. You're our father. No matter what. I looked at Derek. He nodded. She's right. We never meant to hurt you. Mom made us promise not to tell. We were kids. We didn't know what to do. Kids, I leaned 4-way road. You were adults when Robert came back. You were 30 and 32. You knew exactly what you were doing. Lisa's face reddened. It's not that simple. Explain it to me. Explain how you could sit at my dinner table for 20 years. How you could take my money, my love, my time, and never say a word. Derek put down his fork. We were SCA Red. We didn't want to lose you. You were the only father we knew. SCA Red, my voice was quiet. Dangerous. I was SCA Red every day. I was SCA Red I'd lose my job. I was SCA Red I'd lose your mother. I was SCA Red you'd get sick or get hurt or get into trouble. But I didn't lie. I didn't pretend. I was there. Every day. For you. Lisa STA root to cry. Quiet TRS. I didn't feel sorry for her. Not anymore. Where is he now? I asked. Derek looked up. Who, Robert? Your real father. Where is he? They exchanged that look again. The silent conversation. I was done with that look. I was done being on the outside. He lives 3 hours away, Derek said slowly. He runs a landscaping company. I know. I met him yesterday. Their faces went white. Both of them. Why does the plates in front of them? You did what? Derek's voice was Shah RP. Accusing. I want to see him. I wanted to meet the man who fathered my children. The man who walked away. The man who came back to destroy my life. Dad? That's not. Lisa STA root. Don't tell me what it is. I saw him. I spoke to him. He confirmed everything. He told me you knew. He told me you kept the secret. He told me you were afraid to lose me. We were. Derek's voice cracked. We were afraid. And we were ashamed. We thought if you knew, you'd hate us. I don't hate you. The words tasted bitter. I don't love you either. Lisa gasped. It was like I'd slapped her. Dad, how can you say that? Because it's the truth. You aren't my children. You were just borrowed. Temporary. And I was fool enough to believe it was real. You raised us, Lisa cried. You changed our diapers. You taught us to ride bikes. You walked me down the aisle. That means something. To me it did. But to you I shook my head. You knew. All that time. You knew I wasn't your father, and you let me live a lie. Every birthday. Every Christmas. Every time you call me Dad. It was all a performance. Derek slammed his fist on the table. The plates rattled. The silverware re-clattered. That's enough. We came here to apologize. We came here to make things right. But you won't even let us speak. I let you speak. I'm listening. You're not listening. You're waiting. You've already made up your mind. He was right. I had. But I didn't say that. I'm going to give you a chance, I said instead. One chance. Tell me everything. No lies. No omissions. START from the beginning. Derek and Lisa looked at each other again. Then Derek nodded. It STA root with a letter, he said. I was 17. A letter came to the house. It was from Robert. He said he was our father. He said he wanted to meet us. Mom found it before I did, Lisa said. She told us the truth. She begged us not to tell you. She said it would destroy you. And you believed her. We were 17. We were SCA red. You were old enough to know right from wrong. Derek ignored me. We met him. A few times. He took us to dinner. He bought us gifts. He wanted to be RT of our lives. But Mom made him stay away. She said you were the one who raised us. She said you deserved better. So she was protecting me, in her way, yes. She loved you, Dad. She really did. Robert was just a mistake. A bad decision she made when she was young. A mistake. I laughed. You aren't a mistake. You're two human beings. She created you. She made a choice to keep you. And then she made a choice to lie to me. She was trying to protect us. She was trying to protect herself. She was a cow A road. She admitted it. On the tape. Lisa buried her face in her hands. Derek STA read at his plate. After Robert came back, I said. After he told you the truth. You kept coming to me. You kept calling me Dad. You took my money. You let me pay for your college. You let me pay for Lisa's wedding. You let me put you in my will. We never asked for that. No. You didn't have to. I gave it freely. Because I thought you were my children. Because I loved you. And you let me. Derek stood up. His chair scraped the floor. We came here to make things right. You don't want that. You just want to punish us. Damn right I do. The silence was thick. Derek STA root to walk away. Then he stopped. You know what your problem is, Dad, he said. You can't let go. You hold on to everything. The past. The pain. The anger. And now you're pushing away the only family you have. You aren't my family. You never were. I'm sorry you feel that way. He grabbed Lisa's ARM. We're leaving. Not yet. I pulled out the recording device. I clicked stop. I have one more thing to show you. I pressed play. The camera footage app read on the TV screen. Derek and Lisa. In the living room. Opening drawers. Sea urching. While I was out, I said. You broke into my house. You sea urched my things. You were looking for my will. Derek's face went pale. That's not what it looked like. What did it look like then? I was looking for. I was trying to find the deed. I wanted to make sure you hadn't signed it without us. You wanted to destroy it. No. I wanted to protect you. From yourself. You're not in your right mind. I'm perfectly in my right mind. And now I have proof. Proof that you broke into my house. Proof that you were looking for my property. Proof that you're exactly the kind of people I thought you were. Lisa's voice was frantic. Dad, please. That's not. Save it. I'm calling the police. You wouldn't. Watch me. I pulled out my phone. Derek lunged four-way road. He grabbed my wrist. We wrestled. He was stronger. But I was desperate. I kicked his knee. He stumbled. I pulled away. You touched me. My voice was shaking. In my own house. You assaulted me. Dad, I didn't mean get out. Both of you. Before I call the police. Derek's face twisted with rage. You're making a mistake. A huge mistake. When you're alone. When no one visits. Remember this. You did this to yourself. He dragged Lisa out the door. The door slammed. I stood there. Shaking. He RT pounding. The phone was still in my hand. I didn't call the police. I had other plans. I waited 3 more days. I watched the camera footage. I watched them come and go. I listened to their calls. They were panicking. Talking about lawyers. About contesting the will. About fighting me. Good. Let them fight. Let them show their true colors. Then I got the call. It was Lisa. She was crying. Dad. It's Derek. He's in the hospital. He had a HERT attack. They don't know if he's going to make it. I felt nothing. That was the worst RT. I didn't feel sadness. I didn't feel worry. I felt nothing. I don't believe you. I said, it's true. I'm not lying. Come see him. Please. Before it's too late. I drove to the hospital. I wasn't sure why. Maybe to see if she was lying. Maybe to see him suffer. But when I walked into that room, I knew she wasn't lying. Derek was in the bed, tubes in his arms, a machine beeping. He was pale, sweaty, broken. Lisa was standing in the corner, sobbing. He's been asking for you, she said. He wants to apologize. He wants to make things right. I walked to the bed, looked down at Derek. His eyes opened. Dad. His voice was weak, a whisper. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was wrong. About everything. You were my father, the only one I ever had. And I threw it away. I threw it all away. I didn't respond. I couldn't. Please, he said. Please forgive me. I don't want to die with this. I don't want to die without you. I stood there for a long time. The machine beeped. Lisa cried. And then I walked out. I didn't say anything. I didn't look back. I just left. I went home. Sat in my chair. The camera was still on the table. Margaret's face frozen on the screen. I pressed play one more time. Frank, I have to tell you something. I watched the whole thing again. Every word. Every TR. Every apology. Then I turned it off. I took the camera. I walked to the closet. I put it back. On the floor. In the same spot where I'd found it. I went to sleep. The next morning, Lisa called again. Derek was out of surgery. He was going to be okay. Dad, she said. I know you don't want to hear this, but Derek and me, we're your children. In every way that matters. We made mistakes. We lied. We hurt you. But you raised us. You're our father. And that's the truth. I hung up. I sat in my chair. STA ring out the window, watching the sun rise. I thought about Margaret, about Robert, about Derek and Lisa, about everything. And I made a decision. I drove to my lawyer's office. Mr. Henderson. He looked surprised to see me. I changed my mind, I said. I'm putting them back in the will. But not all of it. Half to them. Half to Charity. He blinked. Are you sure? Yes. I want you to draft a new will. And I want you to add something. A condition. What condition? Lisa gets her inheritance only if she gives up her claim to the house. Derek gets his only if he stays away from me. For good. No calls. No visits. Nothing. That's how RSH. It's mercy. He nodded. He sta root writing. I sat back. Watched him work. I knew I wasn't going to see them again. I knew I was going to die alone. Just like Derek said. But that was okay. Because I wasn't dying for them anymore. I was dying for me. I was free. 3 weeks passed. I didn't call them. They didn't call me. The silence was heavy. It pressed down on my chest like a weight. I went to the RDWA restore again. Bought more cameras. Installed them outside. Covered the driveway. The front porch. The back road. I wanted to see everything. I didn't sleep well. Every noise woke me up. The creak of the floorboard ARDS. The hum of the refrigerator. The wind against the windows. I was always waiting. Always watching. Then Derek showed up. I saw him on the monitor. 3 in the morning. His truck pulled into the driveway. He got out. He was limping. Still recovering from the HERT attack. He walked to the front door. He didn't knock. He just stood there. I watched him for 10 minutes. He didn't move. He just sta read at the door. His face was pale. His eyes were hollow. I didn't open it. He finally walked back to his truck. Drove away. I didn't sleep the rest of the night. The next morning, I found a letter in my mailbox. No stamp. Hand-delivered. Dad, I know you don't want to see me. I know you're angry. But I need you to know something. I'm not going to fight you. I'm not going to contest the will. I'm not going to do anything. I just want you to know that I'm sorry. For everything. I know it doesn't change anything. But I had to say it. I'm sorry. I love you. Derek. I read it 3 times. Then I folded it. Put it in my pocket. I didn't call him. A few days later, I got a call from Lisa. She was crying again. Dad, I need to tell you something. About Robert. He came to see me. He said he wants to talk to you. He said he has something important to tell you. Please, just hear him out. Why should I? Because he's dying. He has cancer. They gave him a few months. I didn't say anything. Please, Dad. Just listen. For me. Please. I hung up. But the words stayed with me. Robert was dying. The man who had fathered my children. The man who had destroyed my life. He was dying. I should have felt satisfied. I didn't. I drove to his house 3 hours away. I didn't know why. Curiosity, closure, revenge. I didn't know. I knocked on the door. His wife answered. She recognized me. Her face went pale. Frank, she said. Come in. He's been waiting for you. Robert was in the living room. He was in a wheelchair. His face was gaunt. His skin was gray. The cancer had eaten him alive. Sit down, he said. His voice was weak. I don't have much time. I sat across from him. His wife left the room. It was just the two of us. I want to tell you something, Robert said. Something I should have told you a long time ago. Then tell me. It wasn't just a RGA ret. I didn't just sleep with her. I loved her. I loved her with all my heart. Then why did you leave? He closed his eyes. Because I was a cow road. I was married. I had a family. I was afraid of the scandal. So I ran. Like a cow road. Yes. Like a cow road. I ran and I didn't look back. But I never stopped loving her. I thought about her every day. About the children. About what I'd done. Then why did you come back? Because I couldn't live with the guilt. I needed to see them. I needed to know they were okay. And I needed to tell them the truth. And you didn't think about me. He opened his eyes. Met mine. I thought about you every day too. I thought about the man who raised my children. The man who gave them everything I couldn't. The man who loved them when I didn't deserve it. I was jealous of you, Frank. I hated you. Because you had what I couldn't have. You had my family. Your family. They were never your family. You gave them up. I know. And I regret it. Every single day. I didn't feel sorry for him. I couldn't. Not after everything. He looked at me. His eyes were wet. I'm dying, Frank. I wanted to see you one last time. To ask for your forgiveness. I stood up. You don't deserve it. I know. But I'm asking anyway. I walked to the door. I stopped. I turned back. You know what the worst part is, I said. I don't hate you. I don't hate RGA ret. I don't even hate the kids. I hate myself. For being so blind. For believing the lies. For loving people who never loved me back. Robert said something. I didn't hear it. I walked out. I drove back home. 3 hours of silence. 3 hours of thinking. I didn't go to sleep. I sat in my chair and read at the wall. The next morning, I went to the hospital. To see Derek. I didn't want to. I needed to. He was sitting up in bed. Lisa was next to him. They both looked surprised to see me. Dad, Derek said. You came. I sat down. I heard you were getting better. I am. The doctors say I'll be fine. I just need to rest. I looked at him. Why did you come to my house? That night at 3 in the morning, he looked away. I don't know. I couldn't sleep. I just wanted to see you. Even if you didn't want to see me. I didn't open the door. I know. I didn't expect you to. I sat there for a long time. The room was quiet. The machine beeped. Then I stood up. I put my hand on Derek's shoulder. He flinched. I didn't say anything. I just walked out. Lisa followed me into the hallway. Dad, she said. There's something else. I know you're not going to like it. What? Robert's wife called me. Robert is getting worse. He wants to see us. All of us. Together. He wants to say goodbye. That's not my problem. Please, Dad. I know you hate him. But he's dying. He's asking for you. Please. Come with us. Just this once. I looked at her. She was crying again. All she ever did was cry. Fine. I said. I'll go. But not for him. For you. She hugged me. I didn't hug back. We drove to Robert's house the next day. Derek was discharged from the hospital. He was still weak. He could be a rely walk. But he came. Lisa drove us. I sat in the back. Robert was in bed. The cancer had spread everywhere. He couldn't get up. He could be a rely speak. Derek and Lisa walked to his bedside. They took his hands. They cried. I stayed in the doorway. I watched. Frank, Robert whispered. Come closer. Please. I walked to the bed. I looked down at him. I want to give you something, he said. Something I should have given you a long time ago. He reached under his pillow. He pulled out a box. Old. Wooden. Hansier Reved, this is for you. It's the only thing I have that's worth anything. It's from my grandfather. I want you to have it. I don't want anything from you. Please. It's not for me. It's for the children. It's the only thing I have to pass down to them. But I'm giving it to you. Because you were a better father than I ever was. You deserve to have it. I took the box. It was heavy. I opened it. Inside was a watch. Old. Gold. Engraved with a name I didn't recognize. Thank you. I said. The words were hollow. I'm sorry, Robert said. For everything. I looked at him. His eyes were closing. He was fading. I know. I said. Then I turned and walked away. I left the house. I sat in the car. I waited. Derek and Lisa came out an hour later. Their eyes were red. They had been crying. He's gone, Derek said. He died while we were there. I nodded. I didn't say anything. We drove home in silence. I held the box in my hands. The watch inside. I looked at it. I hated it. It was a reminder. A reminder of everything I'd lost when we got back to my house. I told them to leave. Derek and Lisa looked at each other. Then at me. Dad, Derek said. You don't have to be alone. I'm not alone. I have myself. That's not the same. It's the same enough. They left. I walked inside. I put the box on the table. I looked at the watch. I hated it. But I didn't throw it away. The funeral was 3 days later. A small service. Just Derek, Lisa, Robert's wife, and Robert's children. I went. I didn't speak to anyone. I watched them lower the coffin into the ground. They said prayers. They threw dirt. They cried. I just watched. After the funeral, Lisa came up to me. Dad, Robert's wife asked if you want to meet his children. They want to thank you for raising Derek and Lisa. No. Please, Dad. They're good people. They just want to say thank you. Thank you for what? For being a fool for raising children that weren't mine. I don't need their thanks. Lisa didn't push. She just nodded and walked away. Derek came to me later. Dad, I know you don't want to talk to anyone, but I want you to know something. You're my father. You always have been. I don't see a re about the DNA. I don't see a re about Robert. You're the one who was there. You're the one who loved me. That's all that matters. I looked at him. He was crying. Thank you. I said, but I didn't feel it. I went home. I sat in my chair. I pulled the camera out of the closet again. Margaret's camera. I held it in my hands. I pressed play. Frank, she said, I have to tell you something. I watched the whole thing again. For the 100th time. I watched her face. I watched her TRS. I listened to her words. When it ended, I turned it off. I put it back in the closet. Then I pulled out the watch. Robert's watch. I held it in my hands. 2 men who had loved Margaret. 2 men who had raised her children. 2 men who had been fooled by her lies. We were the same. Robert and me. We were both victims. We were both fools. I thought about what Derek had said. About DNA. About biology. About what makes a father. I didn't have an answer. But I knew one thing. I was done being a victim. I was done being a fool. I walked to my office. I called Mr. Henderson. John, I said, I'm making changes to my will. What changes? I'm giving everything to Derek and Lisa. The whole estate. No charities. No conditions. Everything. Frank, are you sure? After everything? I'm sure. They're my children. Even if they don't share my blood. They're my children. And I'm going to do right by them. There was silence on the line. Then Henderson spoke. I'll draft the documents today. I hung up. I looked at the watch on my desk. Robert's watch. I didn't hate it anymore. I didn't love it either. It was just a watch. I walked outside. The sun was setting. Orange, red, purple, beautiful. I took a deep breath. The air was cold. It felt good. I walked to my backyard, looked at the house. My house. My whole life was in there. The good and the bad. The lies and the love. I thought about Margaret. I still loved her. I hated that I loved her. But I did. I thought about Robert. I didn't hate him anymore. I pitied him. I thought about Derek and Lisa. I was angry at them. But I also loved them. I always had. And I always would. I walked back inside. I sat in my chair. I turned on the TV. I watched the news. And for the first time in months, I felt something. It wasn't happiness. It wasn't peace. It was just acceptance. The acceptance that this was my life. This was my family. These were the cards I'd been dealt. And I was going to play them. 3 weeks later, I got a call from Derek. Dad, we need to talk. It's about Lisa. What about her? She's pregnant. They told her the baby has a heart condition. They don't think the baby is going to make it. She's devastated. I heard the words. They went in my ears. They went into my brain. But they didn't register. I'm sorry, I said. That's terrible. She needs us. She needs family. She needs you, Dad. I thought about what he was asking. I thought about Lisa. I thought about her growing up. Her first steps. Her first words. Her wedding. I thought about the baby. A child who might die. A child who might never get to live. And I made a decision. I'll come. I said. I drove to the hospital. Lisa was in a room. She was crying. Derek was next to her. I walked in. I sat down next to her. Dad, she said. Her voice was broken. I'm so red. I took her hand. I'm here. She cried on my shoulder. I held her. I didn't say anything. I didn't know what to say. We sat there for hours. Just the 3 of us. Just like old times. The baby was born a month later. A little girl. She was small. Fragile. Her skin was almost blue. They put her in the NICU. Lisa spent every day with her. I want to see them. Derek was there. And for the first time in a long time, I felt like a family. The baby survived. The doctors called it a miracle. I called it something else. I called it a second chance. I held the baby in my arms. She was so small, so light. She opened her eyes. Blue eyes. Marga Rhett's eyes. Her name is Marga Rhett, Lisa said. After Mom. I looked at her. At the baby. At Lisa. At Derek. I smiled. For the first time in a long time, I smiled. Good name. I said. And I meant it. The baby came home. Lisa named her Marga Rhett, but we all called her Maggie. She was small. Fragile. Her heart still had problems. They said she'd need surgeries. They said she might not live past 5. Lisa moved in with me. She needed help. Her husband had left her. Couldn't handle the stress. Ran off with some woman from his office. Left Lisa alone with a sick baby and a mountain of medical bills that Derek drove over every day after work. He'd sit with Maggie while I kid dinner. He'd hold her, talk to her, tell her stories. And I watched my children become parents. I watched them struggle. I watched them fight. I watched them love. And ISTA root to remember. I remembered the sleepless nights, the fevers, the scraped knees, the broken hearts. I remembered what it was like to be a parent. I remembered what it was like to love. Lisa was in the kitchen one night. She was crying. The bills were piling up. She didn't know how she was going to pay for the next surgery. I can help, I said. Dad, I can't take your money. You've already done too much. You're my daughter. You can take anything. She looked at me. Her eyes were red. But I'm not. Not really. You know that. Blood doesn't make a family. Love does. She root crying again. I walked over. I put my arms around her. I know what you did, I said. I know you lied. I know you kept secrets. But I also know you were red. I know you were trying to protect me. That doesn't make it right. No. But it makes it understandable. She buried her face in my chest. I'm so sorry, Dad. I'm so sorry for everything. I was a terrible daughter. You were a red daughter. There's a difference. She cried for a long time. I held her. And I felt something. Something I hadn't felt in months. Something I hadn't felt since the day I saw that tape. I felt like a fathered root helping more. I went to the hospital with Lisa. I sat in the waiting rooms. I held her hand. I told her everything was going to be okay. Maggie had her first surgery. It was 6 hours. Longest 6 hours of my life. I didn't sleep. I didn't eat. I just waited. She came out of surgery alive. The doctors said it was a success. Maggie would need more surgeries. But she would live. I cried. I couldn't help it. I was 73 years old, and I cried like a baby. Lisa looked at me. Dad, I've never seen you cry before. I've never had a reason like this. She hugged me. Derek root coming by more often. He'd bring dinner. He'd bring toys. He'd bring Maggie little stuffed animals. He'd read her books. The vet won't let me have kids, he said one night. Not after the heart attack. Lisa's the only one who can see ARRY on the family name. Family name, I said. What family? He looked at me. This family. You and me and Lisa and Maggie. That's our family. What about Robert? Derek shook his head. I never really knew him. He was a stranger. He was the man who gave me DNA. But you're the man who gave me a life. I looked at him. My son. The boy I'd held in my arms. The boy I'd taught to throw a baseball. The boy I'd seen graduate from college. I didn't need a test to tell me he was mine. He was mine in every way that mattered. The will change went through. I signed the papers. Everything would go to Derek and Lisa. The house. The savings. The insurance. All of it. And I didn't see It was just stuff. The only thing that mattered was sitting in the next room. A little girl with blue eyes and a weak heart. A little girl who called me grandpa. The second surgery came 3 months later. Maggie was stronger now. She had chubby cheeks. She smiled. She babbled. She could hold my finger. The doctors said the surgery was high risk. She might not come out of it. Lisa was a wreck. Derek was pacing. I just sat and waited. The surgery took 8 hours. It felt like days. When the doctor came out, I didn't breathe. I couldn't. The surgery was a success, she said. Maggie is stable. She's going to need a few more months of recovery, but she's going to be just fine. Lisa collapsed. Derek caught her. I sat back, closed my eyes, and I felt something. Pure, unadulterated relief. I went to see Maggie. She was sleeping. Tubes in her arms, monitors beeping. But she was alive. She was going to make it. I touched her cheek. She stirred, opened her eyes, gave me a little smile. Hey there, little one, I whispered. You did good. Lisa came in behind me. Dad, I don't know what I would have done without you. You would have done fine. You're stronger than you think. That's not true. I was a mess. I'm always a mess. Strong people aren't people who don't cry. They're people who keep moving, even when they want to give up. She looked at me. When did you get so wise? I was always wise. You just weren't listening. She laughed. It was the first time I'd heard her laugh in months. It sounded good. Derek came in. He was Ryan coffee. 3 cups. 1 for you, he said, handing me a cup. 1 for Lisa. And 1 for the baby. She can't drink coffee, Lisa said. I know. It's symbolic. We sat there. Just the 4 of us. Maggie sleeping. The monitors beeping. The smell of coffee filling the room. And for the first time since Marj Rhett died, I felt like I was home. The months passed. Maggie grew stronger. She sta root walking. She sta root talking. She had a vocabulary of about 50 words. Grandpa was one of them. She's a genius, Derek said. She's a normal kid. I said, she's a genius. I laughed. I couldn't help it. I went to the bank one afternoon. I was closing out a savings account. The teller was a young woman. She looked at my ID. Frank Patterson, she said. I think I know your daughter. I frowned. Which one? Your daughter. Lisa. We went to high school together. She was always talking about you. How you worked 2 jobs. How you came to all her soccer games. How you never missed a single parent-teacher conference. I felt a lump in my throat. She said that, yes. She used to brag about you. She said you were the best father in the world. I didn't say anything. I just handed her the forms. When I got home, Lisa was in the kitchen, feeding Maggie. Lisa, I said, can I ask you something? Sure, Dad. Your friend at the bank. She told me you used to talk about me in high school. Lisa stopped feeding. She looked at me. I did. I was so proud of you. You worked so hard. You never complained. You were always there. I used to tell everyone that I had the best dad in the whole world. Even after you knew the truth about Robert, she looked down. I didn't stop loving you. I was confused. I was SCA red. But I never stopped loving you. You were my dad. You were always my dad. I sat down. I sta red at the table. Why didn't you tell me? Because I didn't want to hurt you. Mom made us promise. She said you would be devastated. She said you would never forgive us. Your mom was wrong. She looked up. What? I would have been angry. I would have been hurt. But I would never have stopped loving you. You were my children. That doesn't change just because of biology. She sta root crying. I'm so sorry, Dad. I'm so sorry. Stop apologizing. I'm tired of apologies. I just want to move 4-way road. Can we do that? Can we just be a family again? I thought about it. The lies. The secrets. The RS of betrayal. And then I looked at Maggie, sitting in her high chair, smiling at me, reaching out her little hands. I took her hand. Yes, we can be a family again. Lisa hugged me. Derek showed up an hour later. He saw us sitting in the kitchen, Maggie in my lap, Lisa holding my hand. He sat down. He looked at me. Dad, I know we've put you through a lot, but I want you to know that I love you. That hasn't changed. That will never change. I know. I said. Derek and Lisa looked at each other. That look, the one they'd given each other so many times before. What? I asked. We need to tell you something, Derek said. Something we should have told you a long time ago. I braced myself. What is it? There was no will, Derek said. When we were looking through your desk that day, we weren't looking for a will. We were looking for your medication. I blinked. My medication? We were worried about you. We thought you were sick. You'd been forgetting things. You'd been acting strange. We just wanted to make sure you were okay. You were looking for my medication, yes. We didn't want to take your house. We wanted to take CA of you. That's why we were having the deed transfer. Not because we wanted the house. Because we wanted to be able to make decisions. In case something happened to you. I sta read at them. I don't believe it. It's true. We have the receipts. We have the phone records. We've been trying to help you for YRS. But you never let us. You were always so stubborn. I sat back. I was reeling. The cameras. The motion sensors. The recording device. I had treated my children like criminals. I had spied on them. I had accused them. And all along, they were just trying to help me. Why didn't you tell me this before? I asked. Because we didn't want to argue. We knew you were upset. We knew you were angry. We wanted to give you space. You gave me space. I used it to turn against you. We didn't think you meant it. We knew you were hurt. We knew you were lashing out. Lisa took my hand. Dad, we've been trying to help you for YRS. But you've always pushed us away. We didn't know how to get through to you. I thought about the tape. Red's confession. The truth about Robert. The lies. The secrets. And for the first time, I realized something. I had been the one pushing them away. I had been the one who wouldn't listen. I had been the one who was afraid that I looked at my children. The children who weren't mine by blood, but were mine in every other way. I'm sorry, I said. I was wrong. Derek shook his head. You don't have to apologize. Yes, I do. I accused you. I spied on you. I threatened to call the police. I was a terrible father. You were a hurt father. There's a difference. I laughed. It was a sad laugh. But it was real. You know what, Derek, I said. You're sta rooting to sound like me. I Leah Ned from the best. We sat in silence. Maggie babbled in her high chair. The kitchen was warm. The sun was setting. Colors streaming through the window. This is good, I said. This is really good. Lisa squeezed my hand. Derek nodded. Maggie reached for me. I picked her up. That we were a family. A real family. And that wasn't going to change. Not now. Not ever. I thought about the tape again. Red's confession. The words that had shattered my world. But I also thought about something else. I thought about all the RS before the truth came out. All the birthdays. All the Christmases. All the Sunday dinners. All the laughter. All the love. Those RS were real. They were real to me. And they were real to my children. The lies didn't erase that. The lies couldn't erase that. The lies were just shadows. Shadows over something beautiful. I looked at my daughter. My son. My granddaughter. And I made a choice. I chose to see the light. Not the shadows. Let's order pizza, I said. I don't feel like COO King. Derek laughed. Now you're talking. I'll call, Lisa said. She pulled out her phone. Extra pepperoni. Derek said, extra cheese. I added. Maggie clapped her hands. She didn't know what we were saying. But she was happy. I was happy too. It was a strange feeling. I'd forgotten what it felt like. We spent the evening together. Eating pizza. Talking. Laughing. Maggie fell asleep on my lap. I held her. I felt her little heart beating. Strong. Steady. She was going to be okay. We were all going to be okay. That night, after Lisa put Maggie to bed and Derek went home, I sat in my chair. I looked at the closet. The camera was still in there. Red's camera. I walked over. I opened the closet. I pulled out the camera. I held it in my hands. I looked at it. The camera that had changed my life. The camera that had shown me the truth. The camera that had almost destroyed my family. I pressed eject. The tape came out. I looked at the tape. It was the only copy. The only recording of Red's confession. The only evidence of all the lies. I walked to the kitchen. I opened the trash can. I held the tape over it. I thought about Red. I thought about her smile. Her touch. Her voice. The way she used to say my name. I thought about the good RS. The RS before the truth. The RS, when we were happy. I dropped the tape in the trash. It hit the bottom with a soft thud. It was done. The secret was gone. I walked back to my chair. I sat down. I looked out the window. The stars were out. Bright. Beautiful. I felt something. Something I hadn't felt in a long time. I felt peace. I woke up the next morning and the house felt different. Lighter. Like someone had opened all the windows and let the stale air out. The weight I'd been carrying for months was gone. Not completely, but enough. I made coffee. I sat at the kitchen table. I looked around at the room. The same room where I'd sat 1,000 times. The same room where Red had read her books and knitted her sweaters. The same room where I'd raised my children. It wasn't a tomb anymore. It was just a room. 4 walls. A roof. Memories. I heard and noise upstairs. Lisa was awake. She was getting Maggie ready for the day. I heard her humming. A song I didn't recognize. But it was cheerful. Light. I poured her a cup of coffee. Set it on the table. She came down the stairs with Maggie on her hip. The little girl was laughing. Her cheeks were pink. Her eyes were bright. Morning, Dad. Lisa said, morning. Coffee's on the table. She sat down. She looked at the coffee. Then she looked at me. Dad, are you okay? You seem different. I am different. I'm done being angry. She raised an eyebrow. Just like that you woke up and decided not to be angry anymore. No. I've been working on it for a while. I just didn't realize it until last night. She looked at me for a long moment. Then she smiled. I'm glad. I missed you. Missed me. I've been right here. I know. But you weren't really here. You were in your head. In the past. I missed the real you. I didn't know what to say to that. So I just nodded. Maggie reached for my coffee cup. I moved it away. Not for you, little one. This is grown-up juice. She pouted. Lisa laughed. She's so stubborn, Lisa said. I don't know where she gets it from. Maybe her grandpa, I said. Lisa smiled. Yeah, maybe. The doorbell rang. I went to answer it. Derek was standing on the porch. He was holding a box of donuts. Breakfast, he said. I figured you'd want something sweet. Come in. He walked in. He saw Lisa and Maggie at the table. He set the donuts down. How's my favorite niece? She's your only niece. That doesn't make her less my favorite. He picked up Maggie. She shrieked with laughter. He twirled her around. C.A. refill, Lisa said. Her he-rt. I know. I'm being C.A. refill. She's fine. He set her down. She ran back to me, climbed into my lap. I held her. We should do something today, Derek said. As a family. Something fun. Like what Lisa asked, I don't know. A picnic. Go to the park. It's cold outside. So we'll bundle up. It'll be fine. I looked at them. My children. My granddaughter. They were planning a day together. A family day. I hadn't had one of those in a long time. Okay, I said. Let's do it. We packed a basket. Sandwiches. Fruit. CLO keys. Derek brought a blanket. Lisa brought toys for Maggie. I brought my camera. The old one. The one Marga Rhett used. Derek saw it. His face went pale. Dad, is that your mother's camera? Yes. I'm going to take pictures. Good pictures. The kind you keep. Are you sure after everything? I'm sure. It's just a camera. It's not the truth. It's not a lie. It's just a tool. And I'm going to use it to capture my family. Derek nodded. He didn't say anything else. We went to the park. It was cold, but the sun was out. Maggie was bundled in a pink snowsuit. She looked like a little marshmallow. She toddled around the grass. Fell down. Got back up. Laughed. I took pictures. Lots of pictures. Lisa pushing Maggie on the swings. Derek throwing a ball for a dog that wasn't his. The trees. The sky. The smiles. I felt like I was seeing everything for the first time. Colors were brighter. Air was fresher. Life felt real. Derek came over to me. He pointed at the camera. Can I see? I handed it to him. He looked at the screen. He scrolled through the pictures. These are good, he said. You're a natural. I had a lot of practice. He looked at me. I'm glad you're using it again. Mom would have wanted that. Your mom and I had a lot of good YRS. I don't want to forget that. You don't have to. You can remember the good stuff. Without the bad. I thought about it. Could I do that? Could I separate the good from the bad, the love from the lies? I looked at Maggie. She was running Tawa RD me. ARMS open. Laughing. Yes. I could. I knelt down. I opened my ARMS. She ran into them. I picked her up. She was so small. So light. But her he-rt was strong. I could feel it beating against my chest. Grandpa, she said. It was one of her 50 words. Hey there, little one. She put her tiny hand on my cheek. She didn't have anything to say. She just wanted to touch me. To make sure I was real. I was real. I was really here. And I wasn't going anywhere. We stayed at the park until the sun route to set. The sky turned orange and pink. The air got colder. But none of us wanted to leave. This was a good day, Lisa said. I needed this. Me too. Derek said. Me three. I added. Maggie was asleep in my ARMS. She had conked out on the walk back to the CAR. Her little face was peaceful. Her breathing was steady. We drove home. The CAR was YRM. The radio was playing oldies. Derek was singing along. Lisa was laughing. Maggie was snoring softly. I looked at them. My family. Broken and healed. Hurt and whole. We had been through so much. And we were still standing. I felt grateful. Deeply, profoundly grateful. That night, after Lisa put Maggie to bed, she came into the living room. I was sitting in my chair. Derek was on the couch. The TV was off. Dad, Lisa said. I want to talk to you about something. Okay. I've been thinking. About Robert. About everything. And I wanted you to know that I don't love him. I don't hate him either. He was just a stranger. A man who gave me half my DNA. But he wasn't my father. You were. I didn't say anything. I just listened. I know I lied to you, she continued. I know I kept secrets. And I know I hurt you. I can't take that back. I can't undo it. But I want you to know that I'm sorry. And I love you. And I want to spend the rest of my life proving that to you. Derek sat up. Same for me. I was a terrible son. I was selfish. I was SCA red. But I'm not SCA red anymore. I'm ready to be the son you deserved. I looked at both of them. My children. The ones I had raised. The ones I had loved. The ones who had broken my heart and mended it. Come here. I said. They walked over. I stood up. I hugged them both. One arm around each. You're my children, I said. You always were. You always will be. Nothing is going to change that. They both sta root crying. I held them tighter. We stood there for a long time. Just the three of us. Holding each other. Letting the past fade away. Maggie cried from upstairs. Lisa pulled away. I'll get her. She went up the stairs. Derek sat back down on the couch. Dad, he said. Can I ask you something? Sure. Are you going to be okay? Really? I thought about it. I thought about the lies. The betrayal. The rs of deception. I thought about the anger. The pain. The sadness. And then I thought about today. The park. The pictures. The laughter. The love. Yeah, I said. I'm going to be okay. Promise, promise. Lisa came down with Maggie. The little girl was rubbing her eyes. She was sleepy, but she smiled when she saw me. Grandpa, she said. I reached out. She came to me. I held her. We stayed that way for a while, just holding each other. No words needed. The next morning, I went to the closet. The camera was on the floor. I picked it up. I looked at it. And then I took the tape out of the trash. I had thrown it away, but I hadn't emptied the can. I looked at the tape. I could keep it. I could hide it. I could use it as a weapon. Something to hold over them. Something to remember the pain. I didn't need it. I walked to the backyard road. I had a fire pit. It was cold. I lit a fire. I looked at the tape in my hands. Margaret's confession. The words that had shattered my world. The words that had almost destroyed my family. I didn't need to hear them anymore. I didn't need to watch her face. I didn't need to relive the pain. I threw the tape into the fire. It caught immediately. The plastic melted. The words burned away. I watched it burn. I felt nothing. No anger. No sadness. Just relief. The tape was gone. The secret was gone. The lie was gone. All that was left was the truth. The truth that I loved my children. And they loved me. And that was enough. I walked back inside. Lisa was in the kitchen, making breakfast. Dad, she said. I need to tell you something. What? I got a call from the hospital. Maggie's next surgery has been scheduled. It's in 3 months. They said it's a low-risk procedure. They said she's going to be just fine. I exhaled. A long, slow breath. That's great news. I know. I'm so relieved. I was so red. But now I'm not. Neither am I. She smiled. You want some coffee? Always. We sat at the table, drinking coffee, eating toast. Maggie was in her high chair. SMEA ring oatmeal all over her face. Derek showed up an hour later. He was rying more donuts. I'm going to make you fat, he said. Too late? I replied. We laughed. We ate. We talked. It was a normal morning. Ordinary, simple. And it was perfect. That night, I sat in my chair. The house was quiet. Lisa and Maggie were asleep. Derek had gone home. I thought about the tape, the fire, the ashes. I thought about Robert, the funeral, the watch, the box. I thought about Margaret, her smile, her TRS, her confession. I thought about my children, their lies, their secrets, their love. And I realized something. None of it was simple. Life was never simple. It was messy, complicated, full of contradictions. But that was okay. Because love wasn't about simplicity. It was about forgiveness. It was about second chances. It was about choosing to see the good, even when the bad was right in front of you. I had spent months being angry, months being bitter, months being a victim. And I was done. I was done with the anger, done with the bitterness, done with the victimhood. I was ready to move on, ready to live, ready to love. The next morning, I went to the bank. I closed out my savings account. I transferred the money to Lisa's account. Then I went to the library. I had some research to do. I sat at the computer. I typed in Robert's name. His obituary came up. It was short, simple. He had died of cancer. He was survived by his wife and 2 children. I looked at his photo. The same face from the beach. The same face from the photos. The same face that had haunted me for months. That he looked peaceful, almost happy. I felt a strange feeling. It wasn't forgiveness. It wasn't hatred. It was just acceptance. He was gone. He couldn't hurt me anymore. And I couldn't hurt him. The past was the past. And I was ready to let it go. I drove to the cemetery. I hadn't been there since the funeral. I found his grave. It was a simple headstone. His name. His dates. A small engraving of a tree. I stood there, looking at the headstone. You were a coward, I said. And you made a lot of mistakes. But you were also human. And humans mess up. I mess up. We all do. I paused. The wind was cold. I pulled my jacket tighter. I don't forgive you, I said. I can't. Not yet. But I'm not angry anymore. I'm just done. Done with the anger. Done with the hate. Done with everything. I knelt down. I put my hand on the headstone. Thank you for giving me Derek and Lisa. Even if you didn't mean to. They're the best things that ever happened to me. And I'm going to spend the rest of my life loving them. I promise you that. I stood up. I walked back to my car. I didn't look back. I drove home. Lisa was outside. She was pushing Maggie on the swing. They were both laughing. I parked the car. I walked over to them. Dad, Lisa said. Where did you go? To the cemetery. I needed to say goodbye. To Mom, to Robert. She stopped swinging. You went to Robert's grave? Yes. I needed closure. I needed to let go. Did you get what you needed? I looked at her. At my daughter. The one I had raised. The one I had loved. The one who had lied to me. The one who had come back. Yeah, I said. I did. She smiled. Come push Maggie. She wants her grandpa to do it. I walked over. I pushed the swing. Maggie laughed. The wind caught her hair. She was beautiful. Higher, Grandpa. She said, higher it is. I pushed. She went higher. Higher. She laughed. I laughed. Lisa stood beside me. Dad, I love you. I love you too, kiddo. Derek showed up a few minutes later. He was rying a single. I brought burgers. Who wants a single count? Me, I said. Always me. He grinned. Good. Let's fire up the grill. We spent the afternoon outside, eating burgers, laughing, being a family. I sat in my chair that night. The house was quiet. The kids were gone. Maggie was asleep. I looked out the window. The stars were out. Bright. Beautiful. I thought about everything. The lies. The secrets. The betrayal. The pain. And I thought about the love. The forgiveness. The second chances. The family. It had been a long journey. A hard journey. But I had made it. We had made it. I smiled. It was a real smile. A deep one. The kind that came from the heart. I had spent so long being angry. So long being bitter. So long being a victim. I was done. I was free. And I knew, deep down, that everything was going to be okay. Because I had my children. I had my granddaughter. I had my family. And that was all I ever needed. I closed my eyes. I took a deep breath. And I slept. Peacefully. For the first time in a long time. The Yendi, if this story touched your heart, please leave a comment below. Share your own story. Let us know what family means to you. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We have more stories like this coming every week. Stories that remind us that love is stronger than lies. That family is more than blood. And that forgiveness is the greatest gift we can give ourselves. Thank you for listening.